is Nathaniel Spurgeon, and I'm the owner and CEO of Rock and Roll Aquaponics Farms. Just to familiarize you with what aquaponics is a successful merger between hydroponics, raising plants in a soilless environment, and aquaculture, raising fish. As you can see here, you see the hydroponics on this side, and you have the water underneath with the nutrients, and then you have aquaponics on the right side, or the left side here, with the fish underneath that fertilizes the plants. I got interested in aquaponics about 9 years ago. I was looking for a garden method in my backyard. Injuries that I sustained in the Marine Corps prevented me from bending over and getting on my knees like you would need to do for traditional gardening. So I wanted to do a raised garden bed, and a friend of mine, he told me about aquaponics. He said, hey, you should look into it, it's really interesting. And I was hooked. I thought it's a very fascinating method of gardening. You get to eat fish at the same time. But through my research, I noticed that there was a lot of weird things going on with the commercial industry. Imagine an automobile manufacturer that only produces cars. And if you ask them why, they're saying, well, we don't produce trucks because we don't like to drive trucks, or we don't produce SUVs because you can't do that in our system. And it seems absurd when you think of it like that, but that's exactly what's going on in the aquaponics industry right now. They don't want to produce fish because either they don't like fish, or they're vegans, or it's against their belief system, or they don't believe that you can produce fish in an economic scale without damaging the system. I looked over all of the designs out there, and I noticed that there's really three things that are problematic with the current industry. The first thing is they're plant focused. Their system is not designed to grow fish at a large scale. If they try to grow too many fish, their plants die because it gets poisoned from overnutrients. The next thing I noticed is their system is very small scale, and they sacrifice mobility for scale, or scalability for mobility. If they try to expand their operation, they can't because they've set up their operation in the basement in some city or in an abandoned warehouse, and you can't grow from that. The third thing I noticed is their system is very rigid. They can't produce vegetables in one system and then in another system later. If they try and do multiple systems, they have to raise more capital, expand. They can't meet the market or meet their customers' needs. My system has the same types of inputs as their commercial system. Fish, feed, and plant seed is what we both have as our inputs. But as you can see, our system can produce a lot more vegetables, our system can produce a lot more fish, and our system can produce fertilizer and offal waste as well. The typical aquaponics farm produces between 10 and 12,000 pounds of tilapia per year. My system can produce that in about 30 hours. So it's a lot more productivity going on with the same kind of inputs. There's also an added benefit that you can't get from the traditional aquaponics system, is they have 6 different types of systems. That's why I was talking about the rigidity. Their systems, if they want to have a nutrient film system, and then they want to go to a drain and flood system, they have to completely redesign their system. They have to raise capital, expand. They can't do it all. I designed a proprietary modular system so where I can switch it up. I can go from the nutrient film to the float drain, to the drain and flood, to the raft system. I can switch it up however I want, all in a 24-hour period, so I can meet my customers' needs. Our market. What we are interested in raising is tilapia. That's our fish of choice. Tilapia is very healthy. It's a hardy fish. It's one of the top 5 foods consumed in the United States, and it is a $10 billion industry. As you can see here, 95% of the fish that we get comes from overseas. 75% of our imports come from China, the frozen food section of a grocery store. The other 25% comes from South and Central America, and that's our fresh tilapia. There is hardly any produced here in the United States, 5%, and none of that is coming here in Texas. It's Virginia, Louisiana, and Missouri is where you find the fresh tilapia raised in the United States. My goal is to reach a larger market of that, but I will only still be producing in my largest scale less than 2% of what the United States consumes, which right now is 1.5 million tons. They're scheduling that, or they're saying that next year we'll be consuming 1.75 million. So it's a growing industry. As you can see here, like I said, it's a $10 billion industry here in the United States. Top 5 foods consumed, and it's set to raise at 1.75 million. The Combined annual growth rate is set to rise 5% and increase by 1.4 billion. This next slide is a little graphic, but it's something that I want you guys to understand how important this is to me. Actually, it's not the slide, it's the next slide. So this is my scalability model. I have broken down my business structure into 3 phases. I have year 1, phase 1 is where I'm seeking capital for. It's 1 greenhouse, the rectangle shape, and all my substructures are the round shapes you see there in phase 1. It's about 2.5 million to get started. My net income is 750,000, and it's based on water volume and fish volume and plants produced in that 1 greenhouse. From there, I want to scale up to 4 greenhouses, or what I call 1 barn set. It's a complete system that operates all in an interloop system. They all use the same water. They all use the same electricity and everything. It's all combined. From there, I want to scale up to 15 barn sets. And you can see on there 9.2 million for phase 2 and 250 million for phase 3. It's a very profitable business model. And here's the graphic part. It's very exciting, but a lot of people don't realize this, that tilapia skins are being used in other countries to help burn victims. By using a tilapia skin as a bandage for burn victims, it cuts the heal time in half. And it also, there's something in the skins that actually reduce the pain to where you don't have to take pain medicine to endure this whole procedure. And there's no market for it. Here in the United States, they're testing it. I've been in talks with the Army, there's an Army doctor that we talked with, and we're trying to set up the logistics and what we would need to do to process that. But our goal is to serve our government, our country, for burn victims. There's over 2 million burn victims in the United States. And if I can provide a safe, healthy way to help these victims of a tragedy heal and move on, that'd be great. It's something that I'm really excited about and wanting my industry, my company to do. My team, I am the CEO. My background is I was a staff sergeant in the United States Marine Corps, served for 9 years. My job was the quality assurance manager for the President of the United States. During my time there, I saved the Marine Corps over $10 million in engine redesigns. I also designed a calibration tool for an atomic emission spectrometer, which I was awarded a medal for. I've been awarded numerous medals and awards throughout my time, and a handwritten award from the President of the United States. I also helped save the United States Steel Corporation over $1 million annually in innovation and cost-saving designs with the process that we have there. Throughout my years of innovation and cost-saving designs, I feel that this business is just a culmination of all of that. My Chief Operations Officer, her name is Diana Peretz. She's an amazing person and has a black belt in focus can-do. Whatever she puts her mind on, she gets in there and gets it done. My Chief Financial Officer is David Gerald. He has extensive knowledge and experience in this industry with multiple growths and entries into this field. He has experience with logistics and building of agriculture industries. My wife, Angela Spurgeon, is my treasurer and my treasurer. She has extensive background with financials and in the financial industry as a supervisor with one of the largest financial institutions in this country. Together, we are set to run and just get this business going as soon as we can. Our offer right now is $500,000 in exchange for a simple agreement for future equity, SAFE. The funds will be used in the following areas: patent protection, engineering designs and blueprints and testing, and land located in an opportunity zone so that our investors can benefit from the tax breaks in that. Any questions?